Today, we are learning the difference between multiplying and dividing by a fraction. So let's start with multiplying by a fraction because we have already learned that. So we have 2 times 1/3 and 2 divided by 1/3. Now the only differences in these two problems is one is multiplication and one is division. So when we do multiplication, we say we have 2 wholes. So I'm going to draw my 2 holes. Here's one hole. Here's another 1 hole. Okay, and we say times we know means of. And multiplication can either be 2 of 1/3 or 1/3 of 2. I think it makes sense to say 1/3 of 2 because we have our 2 here and we need to know what 1/3 of them are. So we're going to split it into thirds. And we look at it and we say, okay, 1/3 here and 1/3 here. Now our denominator stays the same because we already have thirds. So we keep thirds, and then we say, well, 2 of them are shaded in. So 2 times 1/3 equals 2/3. 2/3. Now let's try division. We still have 2 holes here, so we need to make our 2 holes. So I have, here's 1 hole, and here's 1 hole. And now I'm dividing them, or cutting them into thirds. Thirds. So, now that I have cut them into thirds, I'm going to say 2 holes split into thirds is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts. Okay? And just like when we check division, we multiply. So we say, we take our quotient 6, and then we multiply it times 1/3. This is to check our answer. Okay. Equals, and we can do the same thing. We have our denominator stays the same, and then 6 times 1 is 6, which equals 2. Here I have 2, and that is what I started with right here. So my answer is 6. All right, here is our next problem. We have 5 times 1/2, and we're seeing how it's different from 5 divided by 1/2. So we're going to start off with our 5 holes on each side. So pause the video, draw your 5 holes. Now, when I multiply, I'm saying 1/2 of 5. So I'm going to split each of the holes in half. And I'm going to then say 1/2 of each of the 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are my 5 there. So I know that each of the holes have a denominator of 2, and there are 5 shaded in. So each one has the denominator. So there's 2 in each of these. And then how many are shaded? And we know that 5 halves becomes There's 1 whole, 2 wholes, and a half. 2 1/2. Now let's try division. We have our 5 wholes, and we're dividing them or cutting them into halves. Cutting them each in half. And we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many pieces? 10 pieces. And you say, how many pieces? There are 10 pieces. Now, make sure to check your answer on a division problem. And we check division with multiplication. So we take our quotient, our answer, and we take the quotient times the divisor equals the dividend. Make sure you're writing all of this down. So we have our quotient of 10 times the divisor, the number we divided by, which is 1/2, equals, and remember we can go 10 times 1 is 10, 1 times 2 is 2, equals 5. And 5 is what we started with. So our answer is correct. 10 is our answer. Okay, this last one I want you to do by yourself. 5 times 1/5 and 5 divided by 1/5. And I want you to make sure that you do your models down below.